What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? How's everybody's 2026? How is the new year? All right, guys. So, welcome to Margin Call. And obviously, you guys know that I am Marco the Entrepreneur. And yeah, man. So, 2026, guys. 2026. Gonna be a crazy year, though. Crazy year. Yeah, man. So, for starters, let's like the video. Let's subscribe. Those who want to open up accounts or whatever the case is, you guys can use my link. It's right up there. It's on your screen as we speak. So, yeah, man. How is everybody doing? Not seeing any comments. Are you guys? All right. Let's see the comments. I need everybody to throw some fire emojis, man. Let's see. Where's those fire emojis? All right. Let's see the comment. Oh yeah. All right. So yes, throw those fire emojis, guys. Like and subscribe, please. Like and subscribe so we can get this out to the algorithm, so more and more people can be educated by myself, more and more people can get involved, and we can have more and more of me in general, right, guys? So let's get those fire emojis out there. Let's like and let's subscribe, and let's put on those notification bells so we can obviously get notified every time I'm on. All right, guys. So let's talk about 2026. I've been looking at gold. I'm going to be honest with you. I've been looking at gold, and I really don't see gold, going anywhere but higher. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see gold going anywhere but higher. Yeah. I'm looking at the charts right now, and I'm just like, could gold go for a new high? Most probably. But yeah, man, I've got something special for everybody today. Something very special. It's going to be like a little cheat code that I'm just going to give away, just because, it's 2026, and I feel like everybody should, have something to go with, man, even just to make a little bit of money here and there. All right. And that's what I'm obviously here for. All right, guys. So like I said, let's get to the subscribing and the liking. Please like and recommend this video as much as you possibly can to whoever you believe needs it. And let's get into it. All right. So how's everybody's 2026 been? How's your 2026 been? Mine was blessed. I won't lie. And yeah, man, but God's been good. And God's been great. I honestly feel like 2025, we had some ups and downs. I won't lie, we did have some ups and downs. But we got through them. All these obstacles, we just got through them, and we continued to push. All right, we continued to push because we are obviously soldiers. We are not going to just sit back and watch things just unfold, and we're not just going to sit there and just how can I say this, just look at everybody else winning, but you just sitting there and not doing anything. So this year, guys, we're not going to sit around and do nothing. We are going to put in the work. 1, 2, right? 2, we are going to make sure, right? We are going to make sure that we are doing everything in our power, right? We're doing everything in our power to get things right. This year is the year where we succeed. We are going to be successful traders, guys. With my help, I promise you, right? Put in the work, and I promise you, you are going to be a successful trader. 2026 is your year. Okay? 2026 is your year. I'm telling you this right now. 2026 is your year if you put in the work. I'm going to say it one more time. 2026 is your year. All right? All right? 2026 is your year if you're putting in the work. All right? Anyway, let's get to the charts, guys. So, what are we looking at here? What are we looking at here? What are we looking at here? So overall, I'm seeing a buy, 100%. I'm seeing a buy taking place. I do see, right? I do see that we have a bit of liquidity sitting above over here, right? So we have a bit of liquidity sitting above at this level. So my first take on this would be for price to come and sweep this high. And then after getting a reaction at that high, I will then look at what I'm going to do going forward in this market. All right. So those who are obviously mentored by me would know what I'm speaking about. For those who are lost, worry not, worry not. I will definitely inform you and keep you up to speed. All right. So like I said, you know, we're trying to run this high over here. All right. We're trying to run this high over here. And honestly speaking, like I said, the dollar is just getting weaker and weaker, right? Dollar's getting weaker and weaker, which means that gold is getting stronger and stronger, right? If the investors are pulling out of one thing, they're putting money into the next, right? What's the next best thing? Gold. Gold all the way, right? So let's take a look at this chart quickly, right? So these are my point of interests, right? So at first, this would have been my point of interest, right? But then I kind of like, what can I say? I looked at it, right? Earlier on, I looked at this and I was like, okay, cool. All right, cool. We take that. We take this. If we can take this, right, then we must take into consideration that we do have a rejection block sitting at this level, right? Where they will come in balanced price, 100%. They will definitely come balanced price. But where is price most likely to go? Higher, right? We're not looking to go lower, right? We're basically looking for a reversal and then a push on higher, right? Because what am I doing? I want to sweep the liquidity at this high. Everybody with me? Okay. Now, this would be my overall look at gold, right? This would be my overall look at gold. However, though, right? We cannot say for sure what is going to happen. No, we can't, right? We can't say for sure what is going to happen. However, though, right? We can take, right, the correct measures, right? What is the correct measures, right? What is the correct measures? Well, the correct measures are that we always wait for confirmation. There's always got to be confirmation. If I don't have confirmation, I'm not taking a trade. It's as simple as that. If I do not have confirmation, I can't take a trade. I need something to confirm that price is going in my direction. And if I do not get confirmation that price is going into my direction, well, then overall, my bias was incorrect. And that happens, all right? Can't beat yourself up. We can't beat ourselves up. Doesn't make sense, all right? We can't beat ourselves up. What we do is we try for the next day, right? Or the next session, all right? So if you won in London, you're being very greedy to win in New York, okay? Right? We don't need to, right? We don't need to put that much pressure on ourselves. It doesn't make sense, all right? Right? We don't need to put that much pressure on ourselves, all right? Now, if this is my point of interest, right? Let's take that away so we don't get confused here, right? This is my point of interest. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to a 5-minute time frame. Okay. Do I have a level in which price could retrace to? Well, I actually do. I actually do. All right. Now, remember this, right? In most cases, right? In most cases, price is going to reverse into a certain level, right? Within your Fibonacci. Okay. I'll get into it later on. But there's a certain level within your Fibonacci that price wants to reverse to in every situation on every single candle. Okay. Now, could price go lower than that level? 100%. Okay. We're not certain here, but what we're doing is we are taking advantage of the fact that we have an idea of the bias for the day, right? So, beginning of the day, my bias was bullish for gold, right? It was very much bullish because there were many, how can I say this, confluences. Lots of confluence, a lot of influence that was going to push the market, all right? And right now, as I said, that was my level, okay? So my level was taken, okay? My level was taken. Now I look for confirmation, all right? So the liquidity grab that I intended would happen has happened. Now I'm looking for my next level, right? Where's my next level? My next level is up here, okay? So that is now my next level, okay? Marco, we wanna party. Make us moolah, my boy. 100%. All right. But before we make moolah, right, let's get confirmation. Okay. We can't make moolah, right, and then lose moolah. Doesn't make sense, right? Let's make moolah, right? But let's do it the right way. Let's be responsible. All right. Let's be responsible. So right now, I have another level where there could be a rejection, right? Now, if I had to ask you guys, listen, why won't price come here, right? Why is it that price will not get to this level? And if it does get to this level, it will break right out. Who can tell me? Let's see on the comments if anybody understands. From the FEG, we're going down. Not necessarily, no. Who can tell me what would cause price to either completely break out or for price not to even get to this level before getting rejected? So we're looking at the 5-minute time frame right now, okay? We're looking at the 5-minute time frame. However, though, we're looking at a 15-minute point of interest, okay? So you must take into consideration, right? We have a supply zone over here, okay? We have a supply zone over here. We most likely to see a rejection at the supply zone, right? And this is very much a possibility. Price coming in, coming slightly lower, right? Just coming into like a discounted area, right? So some coming slightly lower and then completely breaking out. Okay. But once again, confirmation. Okay. I can't be irresponsible. I can't just take this trade. Okay. I need the market to tell me that it wants to go to these levels that I'm suggesting. All right. And if it's not going to go to these levels, I need confirmation that it's not going to go. All right. Now, what I always tell people and I always tell my students is that, listen, the market speaks to you. You understand? The market speaks to you. It may not have a voice, right? But it has action, price action. All right. The actioning of price. All right. What is price doing? So since, this market is going to take a while to get to my point of interest before I can actually take a trade, let's go over something here quickly, right? So let's go over price action in a nutshell, right? So this is a 5-minute candle, right? Now, in this 5-minute candle, I honestly don't know what's going on. I see this big candle and I have no clue. I have no clue what's happening. I'm like, okay, cool. I see a candle. I see it's bullish, but what is really happening? So when I want price to speak to me, I go to a lower time frame. See, when I go to a lower time frame, price starts to speak to me. Okay? Price starts to speak to me. Okay. Now, price is speaking to me. Okay? So it's really simple, right? It's really simple. There's a rejection block. And up here, we have another rejection block. Okay? So think about it like this. This is going to be my range. Okay? From here to here. Okay? Now, I would have confirmation, right? If price breaks below this level, I would have confirmation to this low. You see, I can't take a trade lower than this level. Right? Why? Because this is another demand zone. It's just a demand zone within another demand zone. So if you're looking at a range, right? If we're going to look at a range, we're going to look at ranges within ranges. So this is a range, right? And that's a range. Okay? This is a range. And that's a range. Okay? We have a high and a low, high and a low, high and a low. Okay? These are all ranges, right? But the main objective here is understanding your main point of interests, which is this low and this high. Now take into consideration that we do, right? That we do have a what? A confirmation for price to do what? Go higher. Okay? There's your confirmation. Okay? There's your confirmation for price to do what? Go higher. So like I said, right? Like I said, we have the fib. Okay? Now, in most cases, right, this would be a discounted area in which price would want to come to. Okay? Before doing what? Going higher. Because we need to understand this, guys, right? We need to understand this, right? That this is telling you that, listen, guys, we've made a decision to go higher. Okay? Now, I'm going to confirm this with you so you guys know that I'm not lying or talking through my teeth here, right? So let's look at the first confirmation, right? So if we look over here, right? Price broke this level. It was a continuation to do what? Continue going higher, right? Then what did price do? Price broke this level and it was a what? A continuation to do what? Go higher. Okay? I'm not lying to you guys. All right? It's right there. It's in front of you. Okay? This was a continuation. Price came in, retested this level to go higher. It's a continuation pattern. They're basically telling you that, listen, guys, we are confirming that we are going higher. We are confirming that we are going higher. How high we are going, right? We can't tell you. But we are continuing to confirm that we are doing what? Going higher. Okay, so that was the first, second. This is now the third confirmation that what? Price is doing what? Going higher. Okay, so when you start to understand that this market actually speaks to you, it's going to change how you look at things. All right, so we've already confirmed over here. We've also confirmed over here that price is doing what? Going higher. So we continue to confirm that we want to go higher, right? So if you look right now, what is price doing? Remember what I told you? I told you that, listen, we've got this supply and demand. Okay? Told you that. We are playing within a supply and a demand. Okay? Now, price is going to go higher because we have done what? We have confirmed that we are going high when we broke up above this level. Okay? Who's with me? Are you with me? If you're with me, say you're with me, guys. Let's see those fire emojis. Show me that you are with me so I can continue. Show me that you are with me. Okay? Let's comment. Say I am with you, or we are with you, or fire emojis. Okay? All right. So, right now, this is confirmation. See this? This was confirmation to say, listen, guys, up we go. Up we go. Okay? Up we go. And what happens to price? Up it goes. Okay? Now let me show you something. Okay? So here is now a rejection. Right? This is a rejection. So what are we looking for now? See this level? I need price to, if price can break below this level, right? If price can break below this level, it's confirming something. It's confirming that, listen, we're going to go lower. How low we're going to go, we don't know, because we can only go as low as this level. Okay? We can only go as low as this level because this is our leg. This is the leg, and this is the rejection off of that leg. Okay? Now, we're getting a rejection at this level, right? However, though, it's either going to break this low for confirmation to go lower, or, right, we're going higher because the confirmation came at this level for price to do what? Push higher, which it did. Okay? Now, we don't have confirmation. Are you with me, guys? We don't have confirmation. Okay? There is no confirmation for price to go higher. Everybody with me? Everybody with me? Let's see those emojis. Sorry. Let's see those emojis. Right? Now back to a 5-minute time frame. See? I wouldn't know what's happening, right? I wouldn't know what's happening if I was on a higher time frame. Okay? So I need the market to talk to me, and that's when I go down to a lower time frame. Okay? Now, there is liquidity sitting at this level. Okay? So two things are going to happen, right? Price is either going to get stopped at this level, or, right, price is either going to get stopped at this level, or we're going to have a continuation to go lower. And this is when we're going to take the trade roughly somewhere over here to this low. Okay? A new high doesn't mean buy, right? However, though, what you need to understand is that there is a huge confirmation over here to go higher. Okay, so people need to understand structure. I feel like that's the key. That's the key to all of this. Structure, understanding structure, right? So overall, we are bullish. Okay, overall we are bullish. Okay, the confirmation came over here. The confirmation over here was for this leg and for price to either push on higher, which it did, right? Or push on lower, right? Now, like I said, we have confirmation to go higher, so we can't expect price to take this low. It's not going to happen, okay? That is a protected low. The minute price broke above this high and it put in this new low, this became a protected low. So that's telling us anywhere in between here is where we're going to take a trade. And we can't take a trade to sell. We can only take a trade to buy, because the confirmation is price buying. We can't sell. Everybody with me? Can you please move the camera? Where am I moving the camera to? You want to see my face? Okay, I don't know what's happening here. Okay, so what I'm looking for is obviously a run on this liquidity, which I'm going to get. Okay, I'm going to get a run on this liquidity. Okay, after getting a run on this liquidity, right, should price break below this level, my confirmation will be on this order block. My confirmation for price to go higher will be on this order block. And we will then target this high. My confirmation will be at this order block, right? That is if price doesn't get rejected at this level. Okay, now once again, we can see price doing what? Price going higher. Why? Because it was confirmed. Remember this, guys. This was the leg. Okay, price did what? Price went up, came down, confirmed to buy. Came up, right? Came down, went up, got rejected to come lower. Okay, now are we going to confirm to go higher, or are we going to confirm from over here to go higher? Okay, that's what we are waiting for. We are waiting for confirmation. How do I obstruct your view? Because how am I obstructing your view? It doesn't necessarily have to test the gap, no. It doesn't necessarily have to test the gap. So overall, right? Overall, this is basically my positioning, right? This is basically my positioning, and I'm looking for price to either reject this level, test this level, come lower, or completely break out of this level. Okay? It is an option for it to break out of this level. Are you with me? It is very much an option for price to do what? Completely break out of this level, right? Now, I can't take a trade because I can't confirm anything. All right? Can't take a trade because I can't confirm anything. All right? I need to know that this is what is happening, and this is what we are going to look at, right? So overall, right, I'm going to take you through it. Okay. So this is a 1 hour time frame. Okay. Now price rejecting off of this level. Okay. Price rejecting off of this level, right? But because price confirmed that it wanted to go higher, right? Because price already confirmed that it wants to go higher, right? There is a gap at this level. Now, because price confirmed that it wants to go higher, this level on the 1 hour is protected. Okay. This level on the 1 hour is protected. Now, when you start to understand structure, guys, right? When you start to understand structure, you understand that this is how structure works. Okay. Price puts in a high, it puts in a low. The minute it puts in a high, it must put in a low, meaning that when it puts in the next low, the previous low is protected. So I'll make an example, right? Price put in this high, came from the low, put in a high. It's now allowed to do what? Put in a low. It puts in a low, right? Okay, it puts in a low. Now, when price put in a new high, it's allowed to put in a new low. Okay, so what does price do? It puts in a new low. Now, I'm sure you guys are asking, yeah, but Marco, it didn't break above this level. Yes, 100%. But we're looking at structure within structure now. Okay, so let's understand this, right? There's structure within structure. So price goes up, right? Price goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down, right? Now, what does price do? Goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down, goes up. So what is this telling you? This is price confirming that it wanted to go lower until it finally did what? Confirmed that us going lower is no longer valid, and we're now doing what? Going higher. So the minute it put in this low, right? The minute it put in this low, okay? The minute it put in this low, right? And it went up, right? It went up and it came down, right? This low was automatically protected. So when price went up and it put in a low, right? If you look carefully, right? If you look very carefully, you can see that the same low was once again protected. It didn't take out that low because this low was protected, just like this low is protected. So price put in this low. This low is protected, which means if this low is protected, that low and that low and that low is protected. Who's with me? You see, this low won't be protected if price does something like this. Right? If price does something like this and it violates this low, then this low is no longer protected, which means this low and this low and this low are no longer protected. Who's with me? Is it making sense? Are you with me, guys? See, with structure, you must understand that there are levels in which they're going to protect. So let me draw out something here for you, right? So price goes up, right? It's allowed to come down. The minute it breaks out, this is a continuation pattern, guys. This is telling you that, listen, in order for this low, right? In order for this low over here, right? In order for this low to be violated, price must first do what? Take out this low. If price can't take out this low, and it does this, it's a continuation to go higher, right? Which means now that this low is protected until price does what? Price breaks below this low. But if this low does not get violated, then it means that that low becomes protected because price is continuing to go higher, which means now that this low is a protected low. And because this low is protected, that low is protected. Because that low is protected, this low is protected. But you see, the minute they break this low is no longer protected, that low is no longer protected, and this low is no longer protected. Are you with me? Does everybody understand? We're on the same page. I went over this before. I've gone over this before, but I can continue to go over this because this is so crucial to your trading. So crucial. If you don't know or understand structure or advanced structure, you are going to fail miserably because you're not going to know which way the market's going. You're not going to even have an understanding of a bias. Okay? Because just like when price breaks above a high and it puts in a low, it's a continuation to take out that high so it can put in a new high, right? So what is this telling you? This is telling you that the highs are basically not protected, right? They're not protected in the sense that price is going to continue to go higher. You see, the minute we have a continuation pattern, guys, understand this. The minute we have price breaking above this level, it can't go to this level. It can do this. It can do this. We've seen this before where they're just generating liquidity. Okay? But this low is protected. They can't break below this low until they put in a new high. Who's with me? Okay? So if we go back to structure here, okay, we've had a continuation at this level. They've already said at this level, we want to go higher. Okay? We want to do what? Go higher. Which means that we can't do what? Go lower than that level. Okay? We can't go lower than that level until we've done what? Put in a new high. See, price needs to put in a new high if this is going to be a new low. But like I said, price could easily do this. Which doesn't mean that this is an actual high, right? Sorry, that doesn't mean that this is an actual high and a low. This is structure within structure. So this is a high and a low within a major structure field. But this would be where price puts in a low because it needs to respect this low. So when price goes higher, when price finally goes higher, now this low is protected, right? And there's a continuation, which means that price can't go lower than this low. And if price can't go lower than this low, then it obviously can't go lower than this low or this low or this low. Am I making sense? You see, I'll make another. Let me take you on the charts here quickly, right? Since price is really not doing anything here on this Monday, right? So let's just look at this, right? Price goes up, comes down. See, it puts in a new high before putting in a new low. Why? Because it already confirmed that it's going higher. Okay, now price put in this low, right? But because, watch carefully, guys. Okay, watch carefully now. Because when price put in this high, and it put in this low, and it put in this high, right? Why did price come lower? Who can tell me? Why did price come lower? I'll tell you. See, there was no confirmation to go higher. Are you with me, guys? See, the market talks to you, okay? There was no confirmation to go higher, right? So the low, right? The low that could not push price higher in order to violate this previous high, right, would be violated. So since you can't take the high, we'll take your low. Think about it like that. You can't take our high, we'll take your low. Price comes down, right, into this demand zone, and it pushes right up. Now this low is protected, right? See, this low is protected. Why? Because it has shown you that it wants to do what? Go higher. See, this was the high that put in this low in order for price to put in a new high. Now, once price put in this new high, the low that created this new high was what? Protected. Okay? Was protected. Then price finally did what? Put in this new low. Okay? Put in a new low. Right? Put in a new low. Now, going back to what I said, this low tried to push price higher, but because you couldn't take out the high, we'll take your low. So it's as simple as that. You don't take our high, we'll take your low. Okay? Now price puts in a low, right? Now remember that we've already got price saying that we are going to continue going higher at this level. See? So the minute we had this, we knew that price would do what? Put in a new high, right? We knew that what? Price would do what? Put in a new high. Okay? But we didn't get a confirmation here. Okay? We didn't get a confirmation here. Price went up, right? Came down, right? Came down and then went up, came down, went up. Okay? Now, the confirmation took place over here, right? Now, let me show you guys something, right? Because this low couldn't violate this high as a continuation, this low would become liquidity. And price would take it. Even though price went up, right? It told you right over here. It told you right over here that we're not going higher. Who's with me? See, it told you right over here that we're not going higher. Now, like I said, right? The low that can't put in a new high will get violated. Okay? The low that cannot put in a new high. We're not talking about this whole leg. No. From here to here, we failed. So this low, right, would become liquidity. Okay? This low would become liquidity. And what happens? Price starts to take lows. So everybody thinking that we are protected gets violated. Why? Because the low had already confirmed that there are buyers in this market, but they are failing. Okay? They are failing. So price goes up. This is the continuation to go higher. This is the trap. This is the trap, right? Price wants to go higher, right? Now, if we look, right, it does the same thing over again. This low, right, this low that put in this high, put in a low that failed this high. So once we failed this high, from where the low came to was not protected. See, from where this low came from was not protected, because this was the actual low. This was one leg, right? This was one leg. This was another leg of price pushing up. Okay, there's just minor structure within this leg, right? But the minor structure is what we're looking at, right? So price goes from this low to this high, this low to this high, but fails to take this high, which means that this low is going to get violated. So what does price do? Price takes this low. Now remember what I told you. Since this low is no longer protected, guess what? This low the complete low of the leg is no longer protected. What does price do? Look at that. Takes out the leg that pushed for price to break above this level. You see, that's where the continuation came in. See, the continuation came in over here when price basically broke this level, right? So this is the level in which price started from. Now, many will say equal lows. Cool. I get you, right? But what you're not understanding is that this is where it all started from. See, this low is where the leg started from. So all the lows at this level were no longer protected. All because of what? See, the confirmation came over here. It didn't even come over here. This was just the second confirmation that price will not go higher this time, right? You see, this already showed you that the buyers were lacking, right? And since this low couldn't push for a new high, the low will get violated. And if that low gets violated, it's the end, because then this low is no longer protected, that low is no longer protected, and where the start of the low came from is no longer protected. So what does price do? Come all the way down, right? Take this low, right? And then, as you can see over here, right? If you went to a higher time frame, then this is basically where our low started from. So as you start going to higher time frames, so if you look carefully, right, this was a leg. So let me show you something quickly, right? So you understand how this works. This was a leg. Price went up, came down, went up. Okay? All right. Actually, no, came down. That was the lowest candle. Price went up, came down, went up. This is minor structure within major structure. So the only low that is actually protected, right? The only low that is actually protected is the low of the actual leg. So if we're going to look at the leg now, right? So this was a continuation for price to go higher. So the leg started over here. Okay. So this is now protected. This is not protected. Okay. So nothing over here until this bottom over here is protected. Who's with me? Are you with me? So let's quickly go to a 50-minute time frame. Let's see what's happening. Okay, like I said, see, that fair value gap wouldn't hold. What did I tell you guys? That fair value gap wouldn't hold, right? That fair value gap wouldn't hold because we've already got a continuation that price wants to go higher. You see, nothing you say is going to stop price from going higher because it's already been confirmed at this level. See, at that level, it was already confirmed that price was going higher. Are you with me? See, it was already confirmed that price is doing what? Going higher. Okay, like I said, right? Like I said, we have this liquidity sitting above over here, right? Now, if price breaks above this level, what happens to this low? Anybody, everybody, let's go. What happens to this low? If price breaks above this level, what happens to this low? What happens to this low if price breaks above this level? It's protected, correct? It's a protected low. So, you see, once price confirms that it wants to go higher, it's now protected because price can't go lower after going higher. It just doesn't work. So, price would need to put in a new low, right? And maybe if price fails this high and it breaks this low, it doesn't mean that it's over. You see, price must, right? Price must fail this high because if it fails this high, the low that created this high is violated. And if that low is violated, then price can start going lower. Are you with me? So as long as price, the minute price body breaks, it must body break. The minute price body breaks above this level, it's a continuation, okay? It is continuing to tell you that, listen, we as buyers are still strong and we're not going anywhere. We're coming back in for a retest, probably come balance some kind of pricing, take some kind of liquidity, generate some kind of liquidity, and then continue going higher. Or you'll find out that, okay, fine, we have sellers at the top over here that are willing to push price lower. Now, when that takes place, this low that was protected is no longer protected. But only when that takes place. You see, the low that creates the high that fails to take this high, that becomes liquidity. Are you with me? Are we all on the same page? Okay, so this is a level that I'm looking at. Okay, but now I need price to start showing me something. Price needs to start telling me that, listen, A, we're going higher. See, over here, it said A, we're going higher. Came back, retested, and pushed up. See here, when it broke, it already said, hey, we're going higher. But you see over here, it just said, hey, we're going higher too. Okay, so what am I looking for? A retest. And for price to go higher. Okay, are you with me? When do you know when to take a trade? When you get confirmation. Okay? when you get confirmation, that's when you know when to take a trade. So now that I'm on a 5-minute time frame, right, I've gotten confirmation to go higher. Okay, I've gotten confirmation to go higher. But, right? But now, I don't know. I need price to start speaking to me. You know, we have a 5-minute candle here, but what is this 5-minute candle doing? And so let's see now. Okay. All right. So you see price was speaking to me, right? Price was speaking to me. So you can see that right over here, it's already telling you that we want to go higher. See, once this candle breaks, okay, once this candle breaks above this level and it closes, it wants to go higher. Can you see that? Okay. That's the confirmation. I just need price to show me that it wants to go higher. See, every time price wants to go higher, it will confirm it. See over here? It confirmed that it wanted to go higher. See? It confirmed that it wanted to go higher. Okay? It continued to confirm that what? We want to go higher. Okay? Now, like I said, we were taking this, we're taking a run on this liquidity. Yeah. And this is kind of like how you can continue to almost be like a wizard and say, listen, price is going to take this level. Price is going to take this level. Price is going to take this level. Everybody was like, no, price is going to drop from this level. There was a person who said price is going to drop from this level. And I told you guys that price will reject this level.
Do you want cool drink? Cool drink?
No, please.
Juice or Sprite or Coca-Cola?
Coke.
Coca-Cola, no.
Yeah. So over here, right? Over here, you can already see what I'm talking about. There was this gap and everybody was like, from here, price is going to go lower. Right? But I had told you that price can't go lower because you guys aren't going to get it. You guys aren't getting it. You need to get it. Right? Price can't go lower because why? We've already confirmed that we're going higher. Okay? We've already confirmed that we're going higher. We can't go lower. Okay? We can't go lower because we've already confirmed that we're going higher. Who's with me? Who's with me? See, I'll tell you again. See, this was the confirmation for price to go higher. Okay? So everybody was saying that, listen, at this level, price is going to go lower. And I said, listen, price is going higher. Okay? Price is going higher. People are probably asking, like, Marco, how did you know price is going higher? Why? That was insufficiency. That was an imbalance. Price was supposed to go lower. No, price wasn't going to go lower. You see, this is where you're going to get confused because you're going to see this fair value gap and you're not going to realize that, listen, they've already confirmed that they want to go higher. So they can't go lower. I can't go lower because I've already confirmed that I want to go higher. How can I go lower? If price fails to go for this, right? If price fails to go for this high, right? If it fails to break above this high and we don't have a continuation, right? Then the low that created this high would be violated. Which means that then we could see price doing that. Okay? But if there is a continuation, right? If price breaks above this level, even if the next candle breaks above this level, it's allowed to. Okay? As long as we get a break above this level, whether it's the 5th, 6th, 7th candle, As long as we get a break above that level, right, then we have a continuation. So for now, these are your points of interest. If nothing breaks below this level, well, I have no confirmation to go lower. Okay? I have no confirmation to go lower. If nothing breaks below this level, I have no confirmation to go lower. That's when I take little scalping trades to go higher. Okay? That's when I look at levels that I'm like, okay, cool. All right. So here, right, is a leg. Right? This is the leg. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this as a leg, and should price decide to come lower, that would be my confirmation to go higher. Because you see, again, you guys need to get this. You see, the confirmation was here. See, we've already confirmed that we want to go higher. Okay, are you with me? A bearish instance, well, reverse. I don't know. Reverse the charts. I don't know. Like I don't have a bearish. I don't have a bearish situation right now. But what I'm saying is that the 1 minute candle, if that 1 minute candle closes above this level, you see, we've had confirmation over there. We just got confirmation right over here, and then you saw price go higher, and now we're going to get confirmation over here for price to go higher. So if price, so listen carefully, guys. Listen carefully, right? If this is the situation, then the low that put in this high is protected. You see, price can't come to this level. See, once price breaks above this level, price can't come to that level, which means that price can only do what? Come into this level and go higher. Why? Because you see, you guys aren't getting this, man. See, this is the continuation. See, as long as we have a continuation, price must first put in a high before it can take out a low. It can't just take out a low. Okay. So I always tell people, you know, that's where the whole, oh, put your stop loss below this low or below a low over here, which is very far, very, very far. You see, I can put my stop over here the minute price breaks this level, because I promise you, you can watch these markets. Price isn't coming to this level, not before it comes in and goes back up. Are you with me? All right, guys. Anyway, we need to wrap up. I'm gonna
eat some hot plate.
Hmm?
Eat some hot plate.
Yeah, definitely.
It's been a while. Let's go catch up. Eat some hot plate.
We need to wrap up over here. But like I said, guys, I'll go over structure over and over, because if you don't know it, you're going nowhere. You see, what I always tell people is you can understand everything else. You can understand order blocks. You can understand fair value gaps. But if you don't understand direction, if you don't understand where you're going to put your stop, if you don't understand where these markets are actually going, if you don't understand that price and the markets actually speak to you, then you're going nowhere slowly, okay? I'm going to be honest with you. You're going nowhere slowly. See, a lot of people I've seen on the internet, on YouTube, they'll teach you, yeah, no, order block. Oh, yes, if price breaks this level to order, 100% it's an order block, right? But if this order block can't secure another high, that order block won't be an order block.
Fact.
Are you with me? See, if this fair value gap, right? If this fair value gap can't secure a new high, it won't be a fair value gap when price comes back down to it. And that's why price comes back into the order block. Okay? But then you find out that the order block is where the low started from. So the order block then gets violated. And you're like, oh, Marco, why didn't the low hold? It's because they failed to take the high. See, because they failed to take the high, the low gets violated. See, because they failed. See, there's the continuation. See, when this candle closes in the next 10 minutes, guess what, guys? This low, see this low? This low is protected. Because you see, this low was able to put in a new high. This low, however, failed. Come on, guys. Come on. Get with me. Yeah, look at this. Here's a high. Here's a high. Here's a low. Price goes up, right? Because price goes up and it can't go higher than this high, what does it do? Takes the low. Okay? Takes the low. Why? Because there's no continuation to go higher. Okay? Takes the low. We need a continuation for price to go higher. Okay? See, the continuation took place right over here. So we could say over here, but I would rather say over here at this structure point. See, this was the continuation, and that's why price bounces off of this level. You see, price bounces off of this level because it had confirmed that it wanted to go higher. Who's with me? Okay, who's with me? Now, we can clearly see that what is price doing? Price is going higher. Now, where is price going to? Who remembers? Right? See? Like I told you, the buyers are going for a new high. That's what they're doing. Now, like I said, this low created this high, which failed to take this high. Right? See, as long as a low fails to take out the main high that created the low, it does not exist in the market. Price will take that low and then go for a recap. So now price will try again. So creates this low, goes down, takes that low. Now we try to go higher. Are you with me? So you could actually take a trade. So let me give you a cheat code. I think it's fair. Let me give you a cheat code. Right? Every time, listen guys, listen carefully. All right? Listen very carefully. Every time you see a candle, right? I'm going to go to a 1 hour candle, right? Every time you see a candle, there would be a retest at about 50% of that candle. So if we go to a 50-minute time frame, right, that's the candle. Okay, that's the candle. Now, let's look at a situation, right, where there's a bearish candle. So 5 minutes. Okay, let's go there. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, so you're going to take a trade if price comes into this level. So there's fair value gap over here. Remember now, see, and this is why it would work. See, the confirmation has been given. That was the confirmation right over there. Price is going higher. So we can't go lower than this low. So we're obviously going to take a trade within this range from this low to this high, because this low is protected once price puts in a new low. So the minute price puts in a new low, that's when you want to get involved. Okay, that's when you want to get involved and take a trade higher. Are you with me? Marco is in the bottom 95 of unprofitable traders.
What did it say?
I don't know. Some person's like, Marco is in the bottom of the 95 unprofitable traders. I wish that was true, man. I wish. Actually, I don't.
That's nice.
How come you can see it? I can't see it over here.
Eh?
Can't see it over here.
Yeah, I have a stream open here. That's why.
Anyway, guys.
Tell them to like this because there's 38 likes, 174 of them. There's 174 watching, but 38 likes. Tell them to like and subscribe.
All right, guys. So please like, subscribe so that I can come on more often. Because if you don't like and subscribe, then I'm not doing my job and they're just going to fire my ass. So if you can like and subscribe, then I'll be coming on more often. Give you more of this, you know. But you guys need to like, subscribe, so that I can come back and give you some more gems, all right? Yeah, it's all free. You're not, oh, fire. Yeah, it's fire and it's free. That's the nice thing, it's free. All your only work is to like and subscribe. That's your only work. Jonathan, FX Trader, don't even mind these people. Don't mind that one person and his negativity, bro. We know who I am. I know who I am. I know what I'm about. So, yeah. And, I mean, guys, you can clearly see that every time I tell you the market's going to do something, it does it. Like, how many times did I tell you the market's going to do this and it does it? Over and over and over again. So if I was not able to trade, how do I trade here but don't trade on my phone? It makes no sense, man. It makes no sense. Structure is so important. 150%. 150%. Structure is so important. So important. All right. So, like I said, you know, this is the low, right? So take the low, take the high, and watch price. Watch price. Watch what price does. So, well, this could be a signal because price is most likely to come in here and then buy. Yeah, so I'm looking. See, remember what I told you? I was telling you that if you take majority of the time, price will come into 50% and it will take off. So watch that. Guys, I can go live every day if you guys subscribe. You see, you subscribing and you clicking on the bell icons and you actually liking and sharing it will give me the upper hand for them to say, hey man, this guy's got what it takes. Let's keep him on.
Okay, what is the network looking like these days?
Yeah, it's looking all right. Looking okay. But look at what's happening. Guys, forget that. Look at what's happening at this level. Look at what's happening at this level. Okay. Let me show you something else. There's a low. There's a high. Look at what happened. Look at how price tests this level to go higher. look at what happens. Look at what happens. Okay. I want you guys to see that I don't just talk. I actually know what I'm doing. When I tell you guys something, I actually know what I'm talking about. All right. So let's take this low. Let's just go with this low and this high. Look at how price comes at that 50 level and takes off. Takes off. Right? Let's look at a bigger situation, right? So look what happens at this level. Okay. Now, remember, right, that at this level, right, price started to take off. Now, never mind that. Let's look at this level. If you think I'm kidding, look at that candle. Okay. Look at this candle. It's at that level. Okay. What I'm saying is look at this level. Okay. Look at that level. Look what happens at that level. Look what happens at this level. Okay. It's not a coincidence. Okay. It's not a coincidence. Look at that level. Look what happens at that level. Okay. Okay. Look at what happens at this level. Okay. It's not a coincidence. Okay. It's not a coincidence. Anyway, guys. Yo, running out of time here. Gotta go. However, though, guys, I'll give you a signal.
What? Signal? Really? They're that lucky? Yeah.
Okay, guys, this will be your confirmation. Right? This will be your confirmation. You see, when price comes into this level, that's your confirmation. Okay. Now, don't be greedy. Do a 2-to-1 risk to reward. That's all you need. This high. It's more than enough. Okay. Wait for price to come into this level, and then take off. Okay. And you'll thank me when I come back on, and you'll be like, "Wow, Marco, it happened," because I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, guys. I've got to go. I hope this helps everybody. Stay motivated. Stay sharp. Forget the negativity. Negative energy this year. I'm not even interested. Yeah, no, take your negativity elsewhere. Especially that negative energy, man. 2026, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not. So, yeah, man. Let's concentrate on the positive things of life, guys. Okay, let's concentrate on the positive things of life, right? We can all make money if we want to. I'll tell you that for free. We can all make money if we want to. We can all become successful traders if we want to. Dedication and work structure. And if you can put both of those in and give 100% on both of those, I promise you 2026 will be the year you change your life completely. And I'm not even kidding. People in my mentorship can tell you. People in my mentorship, if you're here, they can tell you, man, the Holy Grail, the stuff. Oh, man. Like, guys, what I teach here is child's play compared to what I teach there. But what I'm saying is, if they can be successful there with the smallest amount that I'm giving you here for absolutely nothing, you too can become something. I promise you that. All right?
That's good.
Anyway, guys, I'm out. Like I said, like and subscribe so I can continue to come on here and give you guys gems. All right? Like and subscribe so I can continue to come out here and give you guys gems. Anyway, guys, that's me. I'm out. Hope you guys have a great Hope you guys have a great Monday. And yeah, let's all be positive. Let's go out there. Let's push for another tomorrow, a better tomorrow. Let tomorrow be better than today. Always. Always. Whenever you wake up, the next day, right, you should be motivated to do better than you did yesterday. Okay? All right. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Take care. And see you on the flip side.
Great.